Yes, my brother, how you doing today?
Good, boss.
All
Chill.
right,
Yeah.
we've been hearing a lot about you.
Okay.
The vibe is out there, but today finally you make time to come here. We are AfTV networks,
Right.
but we are here on invitation. So before we go further, we have to talk about Olalus Entertainment. We have to talk about you. Hey, I already know what I know,
I know.
but the
I
people
know.
want to know more.
I know.
So before we start this, can you introduce yourself to the people, please?
Okay. I mean, you already know, man. Carl, man. It's your boy Richman, all the way from Liberia, all the way, all the way, all the way. Just keep doing my thing that I feel I can. Make myself happy, make my fans happy. You know, just vibing together. That's me. I'm just simple as you see me, right?
All
Like,
right.
nothing big, like all fresh and clean.
I
Yeah.
like that, fresh and clean. You see, most time people don't start their introduction like this, being simple, being the people person. So I like that. You look humble already to me. So I'm going to cut you some slack, okay?
Alright.
But the one thing I cannot do is to explain your music. Music is music. But what is music to you?
Music, music is like a concert to me, right? Like if I listen to music or if I do music, sometimes I'm being expressive with music because I'm not that really talking type. You understand what I mean? So like if I do music, I speak from my heart. You know what I'm saying? And those lyrics that comes out, I believe they also speak to someone else's life. So that, like we always say, music is a universal language. Anybody can fuse into it, and their souls can fall for it. You know what I mean? So music to me, music is an inspiration to me. Music helps motivate me a lot. Like I do everything on music. So real.
I see
Yeah.
I see people dancing to your songs. I can feel the kind of spiritual connection to it. Trust me, you're taking me to Liberia right now. You're taking me. In one of your songs called Ziolele,
Yeah, that's your
you
lyrics.
said something about when we used to be in Morovia. Can you tell me that experience when you used to be in Morovia?
Yeah, come on, so the whole storyline of Ziolele is the whole kind of stuff in my life from back home and how I transition out here. You understand what I mean? So places that I lived when I was in Monrovia until God blessed me, I came out here. That's just how the song is. So the song tells you how I live, Dupont Road, how I live, uh, Do community, Pakopin, Wukiam, Basatan, how I went places like Toto Bay's Red Light, that's my block right there. So, I mean, when you go Red Light, like the way you're saying now you want to go Liberia, now when you go Red Light, like it's going to be different. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Everybody moving, everybody, like the place is busy. Yeah, it's really busy. And everybody moving, doing their own thing. You understand? But if you don't be careful, I mean, it's gonna go different. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's a place to be, man. Yeah, everybody happy out there.
So
Yeah.
you see, this is the reason why most people in the diaspora will never forget about home.
Right.
No matter how the future become beautiful and big, people always connect back to home. What do you miss more about Liberia?
The thing about Liberia, what I miss about Liberia right now, I'm gonna be real with you, right? I miss, one, I miss my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, I miss my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, being around there is always give me that joy. Yeah, because growing up as a young boy, single mom, you understand what I mean? Like struggling with single mom. Yeah, I got so used to her, so I miss her so much. Yeah, so I and at this point I would say I love you, mommy, and I love you, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I mostly have a back home. I miss I mean, it's peaceful home, and there's no much stress. You understand?
Okay.
Even though I mean there are tough times along the way out there, but it's just kind of peaceful.
So, as an artist, what do you want to communicate with, musically to the people? How do you want them to remember you? as they dance to Zio Lily and other songs you drop out there?
All of my songs I do songs of inspiration. I do motivational songs. I do sometimes gospel music. So I'm a contemporary artist, right? So I do diversity of music. You understand? So I when I communicating through my songs, I always give hope to the younger ones. I mean, making them understand. I understand to say the right thing always. You understand? Because the power of the tongue is like is everything. Yeah, the Bible says talk about it, death and life lies within the power of the tongue. So my songs are always positive. So if you listen to my songs, if you are feeling down in life, want to give up, you're not gonna give up because you're gonna understand there is God watching over you. You're gonna understand that hey, no matter what the situation is, I can do this. You understand? Like my song gonna give you that hope. It's gonna give you that strength again to say, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it happens.
Okay.
I mean, what I'm going through, it happened, but I will stand up one day.
So
understand?
you're encouraging people to be positive.
To be positive in life.
So now,
Yeah.
before I go to one fine question I want to ask you, which is what is next? Don't say that.
Right.
But I do believe you have some military background.
Definitely.
So what can you tell us about that?
I just been a little bit time right now in the U.S. military.
Okay.
I just graduated from the boot camp
Okay.
and then did AIT,
Okay.
done with it, and then heading out down to my unit, which is my duty station.
Okay.
Gonna be out there for a little bit time,
Okay.
and then after push forward a little bit to see how best we can rank up to maybe officer and other stuff. Yeah. So one day when I walk in right, you're gonna be yes sir, and I say yeah, carry on. You know what
I
I
like
mean?
So
Yeah.
you see, you talk about positivity in your music, and the roadmap I'm looking at is like there's bigger things coming your way. And I do believe like you talking with Olalus Entertainment right now. So I don't know more about Olalus Entertainment, but I truly want to know. My boy's coming. He's going to tell us more about that.
Aye.
But before we jump to Olalus, what's your secret you want people to know about the next big thing you want to drop?
I would just
Okay.
yeah, I would just like say I don't want to keep you in the loop, right? Like but I'm gonna say keep watching, okay? Keep watching. You already know when I'm coming out, it's gonna be different.
Okay.
It's gonna be different. With Richmond is outside, like we outside for good. For good we outside. Come on. Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, we're here, Olalus. So, my boy's here. Yes, my man, you're here. Thank you very much. We're talking about you.
It's a pleasure, pleasure.
Respect.
Mr. Rich.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah, Kabaya.
Come.
What's happening? But first, introduce yourself to the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening from your end. Good morning from Liberia. My name is Sanfa Kamara, CEO of Olalus Entertainment. I'm right here with Richman, the most trending, the #1 artist in Liberia, hands down. Pleasure meeting with you. It's been a long road coming, but finally
Yeah,
you're here.
definitely.
Yeah, I want to thank you for your service, bro.
And thank you
this
too
is
for your support,
it's a
man.
pleasure
Yeah,
anytime you
yeah.
have someone
Respect, man.
who actually provide their sacrifice for the nation, for
Yeah.
our freedom. We have to salute you. I salute you, boss.
Right.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
You see, civilian saluting, so you go like that. How do I go?
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
Carry on.
yeah.
So, you see, we are now, things are getting good, okay? So, Mr. Kamara, you here. I cannot define Olalus Entertainment. So, what you guys are about, take us on this ride, please.
So, as I told you, I'm the CEO of Olalus Entertainment, and we are actually aspire to run an artist management and organizing shows, and we're in the process of launching one of the biggest entertainment center around the tri-state area.
All right.
So, but we're having our men here on board it's the biggest blessing we can have. Everybody know I'm from Sierra Leone, but I'm vibing with Liberia every day, every second. So everybody knows that. So
I know that too.
having the biggest act in Liberia is a blessing for me.
Alright.
And I believe having him as our future ambassador is a selling point for us. So we want you on board, my brother, and I believe we both can win. And you're a star. Looking at you, having spending the weekend with you, it's he's a star. You can't deny
I can
that.
feel that.
Yeah, it's a star.
You see, you were not there, right? But he spoke with me. He talked about you non-stop.
Yep.
I can see people with, promising future. Yeah, so, but hey, already I'm in Liberia, okay?
I know,
Yes,
I know.
you Lily, I'm all the way in, man.
But listen, personally, I know most of our audience really want to know what inspired you to pursue your career in music.
In music, coming up as a little boy, my mom was in the choir, right? At the time she was in the 12th grade, right? And she was in the choir, the school choir. So every time, sometime when I get back from class, I'll be like, "Where you about to go, mom?" She said, "Oh, she about to go for choir practice and stuff."
Okay.
So sometimes she don't want to take me along with her because I'll be running around like disturbing everywhere. So she's leaving and go. And whenever she go, that's when like I'm trying to find my way because I knew how to find my way. So go out there, sometimes be at the window listening. You know what I mean? Like that's just how. And then coming up a little bit, I started knowing myself a little bit, and then started going to church. Started singing some songs. I mostly used to sing the Westlife music. The group they call Westlife. Mostly used to sing that song until later I started writing my own songs. And then
So basically, this is like a background to your music career.
yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
Only my mom.
So your mom inspired you to get into
Definitely.
music.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
and how have that impact your music itself? How has that impacted your music? Because sometimes when other people have background in music, and when they come in, they copy from what their predecessors, their parents, their friends. What changed? Because I'm saying, yes, your music is inspired through the church, but as a music lover, and on our personal conversation, I'm telling you, you're a star. You're a contemporary star.
Yeah,
You
I'm
don't
a
fit the
contemporary-
bill.
I'm a contemporary
You don't fit the
artist,
bill
so,
of.
yeah.
Sorry to say, but you're not a church singer.
No,
We want you're mainstream.
I am a contemporary artist,
Artist.
right? Like I do diversity of music. You understand? Like I'm gonna do full gospel music, like full worship sometimes, and I do motivational songs. Like I'm not just into one section.
Okay.
Yeah, I do different music. You know what I'm saying? I do different
And
music. so-
I think it's important for the audience to actually. I want you to elaborate on that part because every time they talk about you, the punchline that comes in, he's a gospel singer.
Oh,
So it's all
I
about
get
thing,
that.
but I really want you to really emphasize on that area regarding the gospel because people consider you as a gospel singer.
I know.
And
I know.
but I think you need to let the audience who are watching
I know.
to know.
So I would say this, right? I mean, you can listen to some songs and that because too many of them been listening to some gospel song I do, but they do not understand the genre of the music and stuff. But I mean, I would say this opening out here so y'all can know and stuff that they too much trying to put me in the box, trying to put me in a certain category. I'm a contemporary artist. Like contemporary, like y'all can say contemporary gospel artist, but I'm a contemporary artist. Like I can do any kind of music. Yeah, but the only thing like music that has like bad languages and stuff, I don't do this music. I wanna do like motivational songs, inspirational songs. Sometimes I'm gonna sing for for women like a love song, just positive songs.
The name Kabaya. Can you say that for us?
Kab.
Kabaya. What does
Kabaya.
Kabaya mean?
Kawa is a Latin Hebrew word, and it means what is received, like like success that has been received. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the meaning of carbohydrate.
So
Yeah, when you check it
did I
out,
say again?
check it out, you're gonna see it out. Yeah.
The man put carbohydrate with fire. Mr. Richman,
Yes, boss.
what's your songwriting process like?
It's always like sometimes pretty easy. Yeah, pretty easy. And sometimes within an hour, I get done with a song. I mean, I don't know, but it's just God. You know, like when I receive the inspiration and I start to write, it just keeps coming in.
And what's your routine?
Everything like always just good. That's all. Yeah, always good.
Wow. That's amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah, because a lot of people struggle in 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 getting a routine to write, so they have to be in certain groups. So
Nah. For me, like anywhere, I always sometimes like that's not even sometimes, but most often I hit the gym and then that's when I write my songs. When I'm working out, that's when I write my song.
So how do you interpret in performing your song, like your like listening to Ziolele, listening to New Level, and seeing you that performance? How do you gain that energy?
I gain my energy through performances. Sometimes I gain my energy from the audience, right? Like what I give and what I receive brings the energy in. You understand? Like sometimes even what you give as an artist, like you don't get what you give, right? But still, you gotta keep the pace at least to clear your part. Let it then remains on the audience or whatever. But you gotta do your part. Yeah.
So let me stick with the recording aspect of it.
Okay.
Can you share a memorable experience in the studio while recording? Because sometimes we see some artists go with an idea in the studio, they come out with something different. How?
Yeah, definitely. I've like been through one before that. One day I had my whole song, full song, hit the studio, and then one of my producers to look me in the eyes and say, "I should go and rewrite." That was so
And what song was
frustrating.
And what song was that?
That was Greatness.
Greatness.
Yeah, the album that I released out 2022, that was Greatness, right? So it was so frustrating to me because I got lost in, like, I didn't even know where to start from again. That was the first time ever I got lost in lyrics. I got lost. I could not get my way through. It took me 1 week again before I started getting back to that song. Like I got lost totally, and that was a song that was really like inspiring to me. When I started that song, it was just amazing. When I went to the studio, my producer looked me in the eye and said,
And it came out very well.
he said it don't make sense to me. Yeah, but it happens sometimes, man. It happens sometimes. Like you go in the studio and then those things comes out. Like you gotta go work harder again. That's all. And you wouldn't need me to go work harder to do better than what I did.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, what challenges have you faced in your career, and how did you overcome them?
When I started this whole music thing, I can remember, sometimes like it was hard to get transportation and go to the studio, and I was just blessed, right? Coming up as an artist, I was just blessed because my circle that I was with that time had a whole full studio, right? And I was also doing business that I could be able to, take a penny from there, go out there, pay for recording time, go and you know what I mean? Like, but as an artist doing it on your own, doing everything on your own, it gets harder sometimes. Yeah, so sometimes the challenges that I faced was finesse and how to keep on going, right? But still I maintain. I mean, with God help, with the help of God, I still try to maintain, and I was just on the top there,
Blessing, right?
Yeah.
Blessing. So, as a professional, we all go through there. How do you handle critics, people that criticize you, the general public? How do you handle that? How do you handle criticism?
They see what they are criticizing. If it makes sense, I mean, I take corrections. But if it doesn't make sense, I laugh about it and move on. That's all.
So, what have you learned about yourself doing your music?
I learn patience. Yeah, patience. I learned being humble, get you far. Yeah, and what I learned in my music also always give me hope that if you listen more and talk less, you be blessed.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
So that's why really my music have been helping me, since, yeah, always keeping me on the right track.
So we're gonna stick to the theme of music.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy the most about performing live?
Yeah, like I just enjoy how my fans be happy, how my music makes them happy. When they see me, they're happy, and we dance and shout together, take picture together. I just love seeing smile on their faces.
So can you share a memorable performance? I'm looking at some of your videos from Africa when you do New Level. You came up the stage, everybody was jumping. Everybody, Richman.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what kind of show was that. You were in black and everybody was, I don't know if it was a
Oh yeah,
stadium.
yeah, it was
or
stadium.
Stadium?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was,
then
it was
that-
the bicentennial program in Liberia. I got invited by the cultural ambassador.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a bicentennial program, and that program was huge because when I went on stage, I left on stage like almost everybody followed me. Like it was like wow.
It was like it was wild.
Yeah, it was wild,
Yeah.
and I did what I had to do, man. It's just okay,
I have a daughter,
Okay.
and I'm just moving focus a little bit. Listening to you talking about your daughter, your mom, that's one thing you and I will share in common.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I lost my mom.
Oh.
She was my biggest inspiration.
Condolences.
When you go to my office, that's the first picture you will see. And my daughter, Precious, is like my soul. Tell me about your daughter and your mom, because this strong connection.
Yeah, like I said, man, coming out as a little boy, struggling with a single mom, later met our soulmate, and then after some years, he died 2007.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and growing up with a single mom, still struggling, 2 siblings that came after me, all boys.
Oh, you have siblings?
Yeah,
Young.
2.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
2, all boys. So I had to play like all of the roles, right?
Father.
Yeah, like not a father per se, but I like sister, brother. You understand what I mean? Like I do everything that woman can think about when it comes to housekeeping.
And
You
they're,
understand?
and they're all
Yeah.
in Liberia, right?
Yeah, sure. So, I did a lot. So, my mom and I coming up, being with her. So I got so used to my mom. You know what I mean? So sometimes I miss her a lot. I'll be real with you. Like when I'm around her, she always give me the strength. When I see a smile on her face, it always gives me the strength to say, yes, I'm doing better. So that's why,
That's
I
a
hate
blessing.
making her angry. So, yeah, I miss my mom so much sometimes. Yeah, so sometimes I go out there on the media and tap something,
Oh, okay.
like tap with my heart. I miss her. Even my daughter, when I see my daughter.
She's so adorable.
Oh yeah,
She's
when
pretty.
when I see my daughter, she brings smiles on my face. I'm like, yeah, I'm a father right now.
Oh.
So it
You
brings
have
smiles
a
on my
picture
face
of your
too.
daughter?
Definitely, I got it.
Yeah, I think we may want our audience to see the adorable Rich Nail, right?
Yeah, that's the name.
Rich
Nail.
Nail.
Yeah.
You see, I did my assignment. Rich Nail.
Yep.
Rich Nail.
Let's see. Let's see her right here. Let's see her right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the pretty Rich Nail.
Yeah, that's here now. And then
Oh,
I got one that she's like this. Okay, this her right here. See her
she's
now?
so pretty.
That's how she have grown so big now.
She's so
You know?
pretty. How old is she?
Yeah, she's 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
4
wow.
years. No.
She's pretty.
Yeah. So
She
I
sounds-
miss them. I miss them a lot. So
Definitely.
that's why sometimes I be expressive out there on the media about how I miss them.
So I'm gonna move back into the music because I just wanted to touch a little bit on there because when I hear you guys talk about your mom, I wanted to bring my mom into that conversation because we all have those experiences. So what are the biggest changes in the Liberian music industry? Because I see you getting along with literally everybody.
Yeah.
And what are the biggest changes have you in your observation?
Yeah, the sound is one thing, and we've gotten more improved artists. You know, they keep doing better. They keeping up with the vibes. You know, the vibe that's that sometimes we like there was no Afro pop like that, but when Afro pop came in, like we fit quickly into the system.
Okay.
You know, yeah, the librarians they've been created. You know,
Oh, okay.
yeah, every time, so it's all good.
So how do you navigate around the business part of the music?
You know,
Because remember, outside of the hobby of just singing, this is also a business.
yeah, it's a business. Like I always say this to people. Like I do not see the money. You understand? Because I love singing. I
Of
love
course.
doing music. And I love bringing smiles on people's faces. You know what I'm saying? So I do not really see the money. Like, hey man, if you don't give me money, I ain't gonna cut. Like, if only this gonna bring smile on your face with me singing or listening to my music, hey man, I'm down for it. Cause I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody happy. You know what I'm saying? Like you, my fan. Like you reach out to me, you need me for your program. Like it doesn't matter, man. You understand? Just it just has to be the proper way, the right way, respect and stuff. You know? Yeah.
So we're talking about that. How? What advice would you give to aspiring singers who are trying to break into the music industry?
Yeah. One thing about it is that I mean, no matter what, you gotta be patient. That's one. Cause it's gonna take time. It's not just gonna happen like overnight. You understand? It's gonna take time before you get out there. Just be humble. Yeah, be humble and do your craft better. Always try to be creative and try to leave your comfort zone. Yeah, like I'm not a hard note singer, right? But every time before I do my song, when I get into the studio, sometimes the keys that I want to sing in, my producer can say no. He can go sometimes 3 times or 2 times higher than the keys. So now I will have to scream, and he do not want me to shout. He want me to sing. So it gives me hard. At the beginning,
But do
it
you
used to
use
give me hard
auto tune?
time.
Do you
Huh?
use auto tune?
No. Yeah, it gives me hard time. The time really he needs to like take me from my comfort zone and take me to somewhere that I've never been before.
Oh, okay.
Hitting that note, it needs to give me a hard time, but it was all for the best. That's how I say. Always try to leave your comfort zone. Sometimes don't be too much consistent. Let me say, yeah.
So what's your goals for the next years? What's your goal? What's your goals now?
My goal,
Music career.
yeah, my goal is always to put smiles on people's face. Sing so that my song can go across the nation. Give people hope, give people like motivate people, make them stand back on their feet. Give people a reason to live for again. Yeah, I just wish that everybody can be happy. Sing my song and they, go about it, be happy.
So, but what would you want your music to convey to the listeners?
That's it. Just to, bring smiles on face. Give you hope again. Give you understanding of a life. Give you understanding on how to react when it comes to circumstances and difficulties in life. That's all.
So, I know you have a lot of love for the music. You have your career. You have your personal life. How do you balance your life with the demand of your career and everything else that come with you, Richman?
I know.
You're a superstar. You're
I know,
famous.
yeah,
how,
I know.
how do you balance that?
Yeah, I know. So sometimes it be hard, right? I ain't gonna say it's easy. Sometimes it be hard. When you being called to duty, no matter what, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you gotta go, cause an order. That's one thing you cannot disobey in the army, right? You being called to duty, move out, go. Like you gotta go. Like I said, man, I'm not my own anymore. When I'm saying I'm not my own, like I give out everything for my country.
That's a
I
blessing.
give up my all for this country, and
It's a blessing, right?
yeah, I gotta be there
And God
whenever
bless-
they need me.
God bless your soul
So
for
I
that.
want to do that on the right time. Try to make it better for the right time. Yeah.
So, back to the music, Zio Lele. The first line of that song, it speaks a lot about hard work and you sweat for every um, um,
Yeah. So, like I said, coming up as a little boy, single mom, Chicago, and my mom teach me. My mom taught me how to behave well, how to act accordingly when there was difficult time, when there was situations, and with the blessing of God, have kept me moving, kept me being patient and humble. That through all these things, that God blessing me every day, through my hard work and how consistent I am, or how consistent I was through those tough times until this level. I'm proud to say to myself, I work for everything in my pocket. I mean, I'm not saying people didn't do, right? People didn't do for me. People didn't help me. They helped me, but whoever helped me, man, is a bonus.
And
but God did.
Ziolele is actually an inspiring song.
Yeah, sure.
What's your process in making that song? Because that song to me is one of your favorite.
That song is my life story. It is my life story. From down to where I am right now. It is my life story. Everything about me is in that song. Where I live, things I do, how people call me, and now where I am, how God bless me, how I'm all good.
And I like
playing
that
right now.
I like that when you say fresh and clean. When I go to my job and I tell people, I say, look at me, we looking all fresh.
Yeah.
I say we the Liberian people will fine, man. I love that line.
Definitely Liberian man fine.
Liberian man fine, man. So the song Sorry, what's the inspiration? Because Sorry, artistically, I think it's one of your best songs.
Definitely. Like up to now, I can't imagine how that song lyrics came about.
Artistic, that song is
that
powerful.
Song is a whole big song. That song is one of my biggest songs. I said this to somebody before, they were like, no. Because probably when I love the song, maybe it's one of my songs more than Sorry. But I would say to you that Sorry is my biggest song.
I love the solo performance on that song.
Yeah.
And how you're like singing from the heart. That song
speaks life. That song speaks men's challenges. That song speaks difficulties that men go through in life. Like not only me.
And the song wasn't specific for nobody.
Yeah, not only me. So that song was just coming out. Sometimes when you like mess up in life, life take you backward. You understand what I mean? Like things happen, right?
And I like when you on that song you speak about your mom, going back to your mom, how you disappointed your mom, and you want to make it up to her. You that song for me is actually I listen to it most times and I say wow, he's talented. It's one of the reasons why I try very hard to get you here. Shout out to the connection who made it possible.
Right.
But definitely that song to me is one of your finest songs.
Definitely, boss. Sure. Yeah. For real. Definitely. That song is a whole different song to me. When I was in training, I'm gonna confess, right? When I was in training, that song kept me going. Yes, it was hard. It was tough.
And the song wasn't.
That song kept me going. Every time I sing that song to myself, it gives me more energy to activate my success mentality, to be able to navigate all through those trainings and stuff, get out of there and be proud of myself tomorrow. Yeah.
Pause.
So you asked all the questions?
No, few more, but we're basically good at most of the areas that have been covered. It's just
because the conversation, you don't want to put all this.
No.
Because the people will go away.
Okay.
You want to hit
the nail. Okay.
Yeah. So.
No, I think we're good.
So okay. Wait. You started? Okay. All right. So okay. We good?
Yeah. Well, one more. So what can you tell your fans? Because.
All right. Can you come again with that?
What can you tell all your well wishers? But you know this. There are a lot of thousands of people rooting for you. A lot. including myself,
Definitely, I know that.
a lot of people, social media, back home, parents, family. What do you want to tell them? And a lot of people wishing the worst for you, but there are lots of people. I can tell you when you graduated,
I know.
it's like a celebratory.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to tell those people out there?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can tell you guys out there is, man, Richmond love you guys, man. I love you guys so much. Yeah, thanks for the support. Yeah, thanks for the love. You know, it's because of the love and the support that got some of us still going strong. Like you right now, all the support and all the love you're showing me for the past, like this weekend, it still got me going strong. If I got people like you around me, I'm gonna be a better person. You understand? If
You
I
hear
get,
that,
if I
my
get
people?
like you watching and, you know, listening to my music, telling somebody to tell somebody about my new song I just released, follow me on every social media platform, I'm still gonna keep going. And while I'm still gonna keep going, I'm still gonna be making you proud, making you happy, making you dance, and making you feel yourself every time you listen to my music. You know, you already know, man.
Kabaya.
Yeah.
So what about New Level? Tell us about New Level. Everybody that knows you speak only about New Level.
Yeah, because that was my first hit song that played almost like it went worldwide. You know,
That's
yeah.
that's a hit song. Everybody
Yeah, that's a
talking
hit
about.
song, man. That's a hit song that everybody, you know, loves. They feel the vibe because I came different. You know, like it was kind of raga. It was kind of like, you know, like it was just different because even myself too, the way I came out with that song, it was just different to me. Every time I listen to it, it brings different vibe to me. You know, yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure having you, Mr. Richman.
I know, boss.
And I hope we're gonna do a lot of business. And we want to welcome you to Olalus Entertainment.
Right.
And I can informally announce we're gonna have Richman as our ambassador to Olalus Entertainment.
Oh, wow.
And hopefully we have a lot going on. We're gonna be part of his project.
Okay.
And it's a pleasure, boss.
I know, boss.
Thank you for the
Thank you. I
service.
appreciate it so much.
You look at that camera and say that again. That camera.
Yes.
Yes.
So, thank you for coming, and it's a pleasure having you over the weekend. And we also want to welcome you to Olalus Entertainment, and we want to have you as our brand ambassador. And this is gonna be the biggest project and the biggest entertainment company out there now. And it's a pleasure to have you, and we're hopeful that we have a lot of businesses that will be coming up, and you're gonna be our face to our Liberian community and to all our businesses. It's a blessing to have you, and thank you for your service. And it's always a pleasure. This weekend has been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, boss. Thank you so much. Right.
So we are out there. We talk about people making difference in our community
Right.
and beyond.
Right.
And knowing you right now, so we're going to bring the traffic to you as well.
Right.
Let the people feel you.
Right.
All I'm asking is what is next.
What next? Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still gonna be original, right?
Okay.
I'm still gonna remember my roots, and I'm still gonna do the same Richmond.
Okay.
But I mean, expect something different.
Alright.
Yeah, just look out, man. Something different gonna come, like. But I'm still gonna be on my route, man. Like I said, but look out.
Look.
Look out.
We love that. Today music is not changing. It's evolving.
It's evolving.
10, 15 years
Different kinds of
ago.
music gonna come.
Yeah.
You know?
Before
I'm
we-
gonna get inspired for different songs.
That's the point. We don't
So-
talk about Afrobeat before, but now
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere,
The
man.
African touch is out there.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to dancing to your beats.
Right.
We're looking forward to, feeling your vibes.
Right.
Yeah, AfTV, we doing our thing. And trust me, let's do this together, okay?
Appreciate it.
Olalus Entertainment, Richman, well, you're going to be the ambassador, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's it all on that right there.
Right,
But you
right.
see, we don't doubt our military passion
Oh,
girls.
yeah.
Thank you
That's
very
the
much.
biggest entertainment
Thank
right
you.
now, man. Olalus Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Olalus Podcast, where real stories come to life. Broadcasting from the tri-state area, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey. We're just one stop away from the DMV. bringing you raw, unfiltered conversations that matter. At Olalus Podcast, we bridge cultures and communities, connecting people from all backgrounds and walks of life.